Welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and I am here to do a reaction to Nightwish Ghost Love Score, but this time to the Wacken 2013 version, which I was told by many of you after my reaction to the 2012 Buenos Aires concert is much better. The quality is much better on the recording, and of course Fleur will have been with the group now, and she's actually been permanently announced as the lead singer for the group at this point, based on my research. Whereas in 2012, she was kind of filling in for the former lead singer. So I'm excited to see her rock out and to hear what she does with this version after having a chance to really, learn the song, work with the band a lot more and things like that. So should be great. I will do the lyrics real quick for those that are watching this for the first time. That is something that I do for my songs. And I've had some comments from people about the lyrics. One comment was that reading the lyrics beforehand is condescending, but I don't really look at it that way at all. The way I look at it is I read the lyrics so that I can better understand the meaning of the song, the message behind the story of the song, and also so that we can have a more full experience together of the song. Because I feel like if a lot of you out there are like me, you don't sometimes pay as much attention to the lyrics as you should. And so this for me is a good exercise to help us to better really think about the lyrics and better understand the meaning of the songs and have a more rich experience from the music and the overall performance. So hopefully that's the way that you feel. I do want to get your honest feedback regarding that. So if you could please put in the comments what your thoughts are about me reading the lyrics before the reactions, I would appreciate it. Because if the consensus from a majority out there is that they'd rather me not read the lyrics, then I can look at that and consider that and possibly decide not to read the lyrics beforehand. It's extra work for me. It's not a big deal really, but and it does make the videos longer. So if a majority of you want me to leave that part out of the videos, I'm happy to do that to improve the quality of what I put out. So with that being the case, let's move on to lyrics here. We used to swim the same moonlight waters, oceans away from the wakeful day. My fall will be for you, my fall will be for you, my love will be in you. If you be the one to cut me, I'll bleed forever. Scene of the sea, before the waking of the world, bring me to thee into the blue memory. My fall will be for you, my fall will be for you, my love will be in you. If you be the one to cut me, I'll bleed forever. Into the blue memory a siren from the deep came to me, sang my name, my longing. Still I write my song about that dream of mine. Worth everything I may ever be, the child will be born again. That siren carried him to me, first of them true loves, singing on the shoulders of an angel, without care for love and loss, bring me home or leave me be. My love, in the dark heart of the night, I have lost the path before me. The one behind will lead me, take me, cure me, kill me, bring me home, every way, every day, just another loop in the hangman's noose. Take me, cure me, kill me, bring me home, every way, every day. I keep on watching us sleep. Relive the old sin of Adam and Eve, of you and me. Forgive the adoring beast. Redeem me into childhood. Show me myself without the shell, like the advent of May. I'll be there when you say, time to never hold our love. And then the chorus repeats several times. So I think the song really is about lost love and kind of this falling away that happened. And I don't know if this is significant to Tuomas. I read a couple things online that kind of talked about some theories about that I'm sure you can guess. Ghost love score, right? So it's a dead love. So maybe the love was alive at one point and then it died. So that's kind of my take on it. But it's very he's a very good writer. I myself am a writer. I don't know how many of you know that. I know some do. I write novels on the side. I wrote my first novel, and I'm working on the second in the series. It's a middle grade fantasy. But yeah, this is really good writing. He's a very good lyricist, and I'm sure there's a lot here, a lot of symbolisms and metaphors and different things that only his brain understand to the fullest degree. Hopefully someday we're able to unlock that. But let me get to the performance here. So before I do that real quick, if you haven't already, if you could please subscribe, click on the notifications to be notified of any of the future Nightwish reactions or any others you may be interested in. I would appreciate that. And enjoy. I'm just noticing this venue here. So this is a little bit different from the Buenos Aires venue. One thing that came out in the comments that I hadn't really realized about the performance I watched, which is a little scary actually, is that those people that they were helping over from the front row there in the Buenos Aires concert, they were actually getting squished. So they were suffocating, or the audience was pressing in on them, which I've heard of that happening like at soccer games and things like that. But thankfully it doesn't look like that's happening here. But this is still looks like a great crowd, pretty large. Those pipes are cool. Yucca, I believe, the drummer. There she is. She looks much more comfortable in her element for this one. Again, she's very open with the sound. So I'm trying very hard not to pause while Fleur is singing, because I was told that that's some kind of a crime to pause while she's singing, which that's fair enough. I've talked in some of my videos about this, the inner smile, which is what I've heard it referred to, but it's basically like where the singer has been trained to kind of lift their cheeks up. It's called the mask sometimes here. Lift your cheeks up, and what that does is it lifts the soft palate in the back of your throat, of your singing, area here, and it allows the sound to come through freely, unobstructed, and with more power and resonance a lot of times. So that's one of the things that you learn when you go through classical training, is how to kind of open everything up, and Fleur does it very well. You can see when she really opens up that the sound comes through. She has a very powerful voice, and that's one of the things that I've noticed about her. So I just wanted to point that out, that you can definitely see that some of that classical training, that opera training she had, is coming through there.
Siren from the deep came to me, sang my name, my Lord. Still I write my songs about the dream of mine, worth everything I may ever be. Child will be born again, that siren carried him to me. First of them true loves, sitting on the shoulder of an angel without care for love alone.
Like I said, she definitely seems like she's more in her element. She seems very comfortable with the band. And the thing that I've noticed too about her voice is she forms everything very well as far as the vowels. And this is part of what you learn, and this is part of what classical singers will key in on when they hear a vocalist, is the openness of the sound, but also how they're forming the vowels and the clarity of the sound coming through. So those two things can be a big part of what kind of comes through in a classically trained voice. And you can still have the pop sound or a metal sound or any of those things. So it's iterations of those things that you've learned, right? And that's what I see with a lot of artists like this, and like Pat Benatar and some of these others, is that they've taken the classical training and they've adapted it so that some of the good aspects of what they learned can still kind of come through, even if they're singing like with vocal fry, for instance, where they've kind of added a little bit of a growl to the sound, or something like that, or if they're singing a metal type song, right? They can still use the good support that they learned through the diaphragm, the openness, but then they alter the sound as it comes through to kind of give it more bite or growl or rasp, or whatever it is that they're trying to do with the sound. It just gives you a little more freedom to do that, and kind of the understanding of the voice to make it happen, and also to keep your voice from getting harmed, right? So that's part of what is nice about kind of getting that fundamental training, is you can hopefully protect your voice from getting nodes or getting damaged or sore or tired easily when you're singing some of these harder vocals. So just something that I noticed there. This is Empu, right? Empu. This is where there's like this section. This happened in the other performance, right, where they leave and come back. So if some of you have some information about this section and why they kind of wrote this in as part of the song, it'd be interesting to know kind of why it's here. It's kind of unusual. Yeah, that's a pretty dense crowd. That was a good shot of it. That's awesome. Look at that. Yeah, wow. Go Wacken. I love this part right here. Now this is Tuomas, right? It was interesting to kind of read about him and how the whole concept of Nightwish came about, right? Where he got together with some of his buddies and he thought of this idea for a project, and then they brought in the original members of the group and kind of created, I think, a demo, and then released their first song, I think around 1997, if I remember right. And the group just took off, and it's one of the top Finnish bands, I believe. Yeah, so they've sold, I think, somewhere around 9 million albums or something like that. So they've been a very successful group, and I believe Floor's been with them for around 8 years, from what I understand. So, but yeah, Tuomas, I especially admire him for his skills on the keyboard, because I actually play the piano. I'm not super good, but I do enjoy playing. We have a baby grand, and I need to spend some more time on it, but I do enjoy playing it. So he's awesome. He's a key member of the band, no question, with his ability to write songs and do the arrangements and to help out with the sound that they're able to get. And also, I'm sure he's involved with like the orchestration piece. That's the piece I didn't really know a lot about when I did my first reaction, because I didn't really understand the symphonic part of what I was listening to. But as you all pointed out, which I appreciate, I believe that the symphonic piece was actually recorded by the London Philharmonic or something like that, London Symphony, and then they piped that into the concert. So that's even more impressive to think about, knowing how hard it would be to pipe that sound in and have that all intermingled with the live sounds they're playing and have it all completely synchronized. That's got to be very difficult to accomplish. So they've got to be pretty amazing musicians to be able to pull that off. Let's get back to it. This part's awesome. She's adding that growl in there. These random people just getting carried around the audience. It's awesome. There's Marco. Oh, that's cool. The flames. Yeah, I mean, this whole stage production is definitely more than they had for the other concert. They've stepped it up for sure. And this crowd is, I'm just looking at the kind of the layout here a little bit. And this stuff's no joke, you know, when you're setting all this stuff up. I've helped with setting up some of this type of equipment, so they put on a pretty awesome stage production, obviously, here. She's great at getting the crowd going. They're into it. English is very good, by the way. Nice. You see how... Sorry, I paused during her singing. I didn't mean to there. I just noticed something where she was doing this, you, and then she opened her mouth a little bit more. So you can kind of see when you learn how to change the sound and alter your voice using different methods, whether that's applying different breath or applying different mouth shapes, like she just did there, it can really add a lot more texture to your performance. And it basically, it's like, and I've used this analogy before, but it kind of gives you a more full palette. If you're to use the artist analogy, right? You have more colors, you have, you know, different sized brushes that you can use to paint the picture that you're trying to paint and present, in this case through this song, if you want to carry that analogy over. So you can tell that, like, through the training that she's received and the time she spent performing, which is extensive based on my research. I mean, back into the 90s, you know, mid 90s-ish time frame through this, which was 2013. So, you know, you're talking at least 16 years or so that she's had performing in bands and so forth. But yeah, so I'll rewind it again and you can kind of watch what I'm talking about, just so we don't miss anything here. She's so open. Yeah, she's... Right. There. goes. Very resonant. She's not even straining for these notes. Wow. Look at that breath control. Yeah, this is a better performance for sure. I mean, she's solid. Part of what you're seeing here and what you see in this performance versus the other performance, my guess is that, because I've been there as a vocalist where when you've practiced with a group or when you've practiced a song and you really know it cold, you're able to really bring it for the performance and add a lot more to it, and it affects the quality of the sound, it affects the quality of the performance and the feeling you're able to put into it. It's all around makes for a better performance. So that's part of probably what you're seeing here. Also the togetherness aspect. So because they've had more of a chance to kind of practice together, they have a better feel for that as far as, the rhythms and, making sure they're in sync with the vocals and how they play off of each other. So, but yeah, her voice, she used very good breath control there. I want to rewind real quick and play that again just to kind of see it. But get that jam. Part where she was doing the headbanging last night. Yep. Nice. Yeah, these guys put on a great concert. Would love to go to one of these concerts. Oh, go in, Blue. Wow. Yeah. So I see why you all wanted me to react to this one versus the other one. Definitely a better quality recording, better quality overall as far as like the video, the performance. Floor was definitely more in her element, I would say, because of the time now that she's had with the group. She definitely was more solid in her vocal on this performance than the other one, for sure. She was very comfortable, and it did seem that the high notes were easier for her on this performance. Like they came easier for her, and she wasn't really, she wasn't trying hard on the other performance per se, but she just seemed a lot more comfortable with this performance than she was with the other one, as far as vocally. And I don't know what her health was vocally on this one versus the other one. That's the thing that always comes into play, right? I understand it completely as a vocalist, because from one day to the next, my voice is in a different health, right? Depending on if allergies are kicking in at some point, or I've been talking a lot, or, whatever those things are, raising my voice to, yell at a sports event or something like that, right? All those things can play into it. So there's a lot of that involved. But yeah, amazing performance. Nightwish is awesome. I'm excited to see more from them and hear Floor sing some more. So in the comments down below, please put your recommendations for some next songs. Most of you have said any of the songs from this concert are good to react to. So I'll look at the songs from this concert and kind of correlate that with some of the comments I got from my other Nightwish reaction and from the comments that you're going to provide here, and decide on my next song. But look for more Nightwish reactions coming. I appreciate all of you watching, and for subscribing if you haven't already. Please click below, and I hope all of you are doing well. Thank you very much, and take care.